What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer update. Before I crack on with today's transfer update, including a very big update on Erling Haaland, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, want to help to support my channel, then do subscribe, press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. I will keep you guys up to date ASAP with all the latest Manchester City transfer news for this summer. Daily Manchester City transfer updates will be returning for the summer transfer window as well, so I'll keep you up to date with Erling Haaland and all the latest exclusives for transfers. So do make sure you have subscribed if you haven't already. 23k subscribers, that's the aim, less than 700 subs away, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business enquiries, leave a thumbs up as well if you do enjoy this video. Aiming for 300 likes once more, so any help towards that would be brilliant. And also, most importantly, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, as I'm always interested in what you do have to say with regards to these transfers. Let's crack on with this video. We've got some contract news, and it comes in the form of an update on Pep Guardiola. Now, the Telegraph are saying that Pep, he will sit down with the City bosses in the summer and talk about his future then, once he has 12 months left on his contract. Personally hoping for another extension for Pep Guardiola. I've got a feeling his decision will rest upon how Manchester City perform for this season in the Champions League. Should Manchester City win the Champions League, I can see Pep Guardiola 12 months after walking away, because he's won everything at Manchester City. He would leave Manchester City in a really good spot. However, should the Champions League evade us, I can see Pep Guardiola potentially extending, because I don't see him leaving Manchester City until he has won the biggest prize of them all, and that is the Champions League. Now, I'm not saying that the Champions League's the big deciding factor. I just think it's going to have an influence. City could still win the Champions League. Pep Guardiola might decide actually really happy, really settled, really motivated once more, and wants to stay at City. He might also say, actually, I feel like I've done everything here. I want to go and have a rest, or I want to go and do this or do that, and he might choose to walk away. Who knows? I imagine we will get a clearer indication, though, in the summer, which is what the Telegraph are getting at. Now, moving on to the out, we've got an update on Morgan Rogers. Now, AFC Bournemouth, where Rogers has been on loan at, have confirmed that he has been recalled by Manchester City from his loan spell early, and Morgan Rogers is now training at Manchester City rather than AFC Bournemouth. That's according to Scott Parker, who is Bournemouth's manager, so it doesn't get much more official than that. And Morgan Rogers now is no longer a Bournemouth player, and unfortunate that it's not worked out. Struggled for game time, and it's unfortunate that we couldn't get a loan sorted for him on transfer deadline day for him to go and get some useful minutes for him in the Championship. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there with regards to the summer and Morgan Rogers. Now, moving on, we've got an update on Bernardo Silva. Now, he's done an interview with The Times where he said that he did want to leave Manchester City last summer. He's given a reason. He said it was because of lockdown. It was getting him down. He wasn't enjoying England. And it's very sad, this. He said that he felt lonely as well. So first off, I want to say to Bernardo, don't worry, we all love you here at Manchester City. You'll never be alone here. You have the backing of each and every single Manchester City fan from around the globe. But I do get where he's coming from. He won't be the first, he won't be the last either, of players that feel unsettled when they come to England, when they come to Manchester. There's a climate difference, the culture is different, the environment is different, and the day-to-day living of life is very different as well. And some it suits, some it doesn't. But I'm hoping that Bernardo Silva is feeling more settled now. It does seem a lot happier since we've headed out of lockdown, and the good news is it looks like we're hopefully never going to head into another lockdown again, and hopefully that'll help Bernardo Silva to be able to well, push himself into up the hierarchy really in the Manchester City squad, and he can become not only a player that's on the team sheet, but also a player that can build himself up as being a very established first team player. And to me, Bernardo Silva would make a very good captain captain one day of Manchester City as well. That's how highly I regard Bernardo Silva. There is talk of him potentially being in discussions with Manchester City in the summer over a new contract, which I think would be amazing. It would be a great reward for Bernardo Silva for all of his hard work on the pitch this season for the club. He looks very comfortable, he looks confident, and he looks brilliant for Manchester City. And so I'm hoping that we can really take a step forward, and this little dark stage has been cast aside, and all the lights there now for him to go and flourish at Manchester City, because I want City to keep hold of Bernardo Silva. I regard Bernardo Silva as one of City's best players, and if that means giving him a new bumper contract and a 5-6 year contract with him being one of the highest paid players at City, then I have no problem with that, because I regard Bernardo Silva as one of Manchester City's best players. So we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, moving on to the ins. Everyone keeps talking about Erling Haaland, so let's address all the latest on that now. Fabrizio Romano, he has provided an update on Erling Haaland. He said that Manchester City will indeed try and sign Haaland in the summer. He said that there are some contingencies that have been identified by City. Harry Kane is one of the names that keeps cropping up. Pep Guardiola would like Harry Kane at Manchester City, but the problem is that Kane doesn't want to leave Spurs. It's expensive. His age doesn't really make it financially viable for Manchester City either. The finances don't work, and unless Harry Kane tells Tottenham Hotspur, I want to leave, and hands in a transfer request, this transfer is even more difficult than the Haaland transfer, and in my opinion that ship has now sailed. The summer's long, things can happen, and Antonio Conte walking away from Spurs, and I wouldn't rule that out, and all of a sudden Kane might be unsettled, a transfer request might come in, and Tottenham might be willing to decrease on their finances, so to speak, but I'm not sure. By the time all that's happened, I can see Man City identifying option A and option B before that happens, so we'll see. Robert Lewandowski is also another player that's been mentioned. City are keeping a close eye on developments with Lewandowski. To me, he's a very, very good contingency for City to consider. Now, obviously, his age is against Lewandowski, but he's still a proven goal scorer on the big stage in the Champions League. I can guarantee right now that Lewandowski could come to the Premier League and he'd score 20 plus goals. He'd probably score 30 plus goals if he had enough in him in the tank to be able to do 38 games in the Premier League season. He's such a good finisher, and it is a doable transfer with him having just a year left on his contract this summer as well. You could probably get a good 2 or 3 seasons out of Lewandowski as well. It's an affordable transfer. Yeah, it makes sense, but I think City looking long term, or certainly right now they're looking long term as the summer goes on. If we don't bring anyone in, I can see City looking more short term, and that's when Lewandowski may well become an option. But I would say that transfer relies a lot on what happens with Erling Haaland. Now, if Bayern Munich are to step up their chase for Erling Haaland, I can see them selling Lewandowski, looking for 30, 40, 50 million pounds, whatever they're looking for him, and trying to use that as a bargaining tool, and also a way of financing a move for Erling Haaland. But we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, the big hurdle really with Erling Haaland is that big wage demand. Manchester City are reportedly happy to pay whatever it takes to sign Erling Haaland. Barcelona, Real Madrid, they believe that Manchester City lead the race to sign Erling Haaland. That's their thoughts on the transfer. Will City make it happen? Will City pay the cash? That is the $1 million question here. Anyway, David Ornstein at The Athletic, he said that Manchester City are willing to explore other options should Erling Haaland decide to drag the transfer on, or his hierarchy, should I say, decide to drag it on longer than what the players' camp have told Manchester City in terms of a time scale. I'm not aware of a time scale for this transfer. I imagine at some point this month that Erling Haaland will make a decision on his future, which will be communicated to Borussia Dortmund, so Borussia Dortmund can start preparing their summer transfer window for life, either with or without Erling Haaland, so they know how much money they're going to have, and so they'll want a decision sooner rather than later. When that decision does come, I'll be the first to bring it to you guys, so do make sure you keep your eyes and ears appealed. Social media is a good place, Twitter. I will retweet sources and stuff and keep you guys up to date and tweet things out, so worthwhile follow me on there if you haven't already. Link is in the description, or just simply subscribe to my channel and I'll have a video out ASAP of when I do have all the latest on Erling Haaland. But it's believed that in the terms of this chase, City are leading the race to sign Erling Haaland, and with City talking with the hierarchy of Erling Haaland, that's one step closer for us signing Haaland. The next step, like I said, has to be him communicating to Dortmund that he is leaving. Once that happens, and I am expecting that to happen, once that does happen, that's when City can really step up that chase. But that's where I'm expecting Raiola, his agent, to be really smart. That's where he's going to start offering Erling Haaland out to the club that's willing to pay the most. If Barcelona or Real Madrid are willing to pay more than Manchester City, then this transfer becomes very difficult, which is where City are getting prepared here by having contingencies that they can chuck out to Raiola and say, we're not going to pay that because he's not worth it. And if you're bluffing in terms of Real Madrid or Barcelona are willing to pay that, so you're getting City to pay top dollar, it's going to upset our wage structure. We're happy to go after a Harry Kane, a Robert Lewandowski, a Darwin Núñez, or whomever it would be, and City can just communicate that across. So this is going to be a very exciting yet very long, I feel, transfer saga. So I will keep you guys up to date with it throughout the summer with daily Manchester City transfer updates. So if you haven't already, then do make sure you have subscribed, press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget as well, social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Leave a thumbs up as well if you do enjoy this video. 300 likes once more is the like goal, and also don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the comments below what you made of these transfers, especially Erling Haaland. What's your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you again real soon for the next Manchester City video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.